It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got two Japanese beers to show you, but they're not brewed in Japan. We've got Sapporo here in this wonderful can. Really like the Sapporo can. And this has been contract brewed in Vietnam. It's a 650 milliliter can, 5% ABV. It's £2.95 currently in Tesco. And in this beer, Asahi Super Dry, or Asahi Super, I should say. Super Dry is a clothing company, isn't it? My mistake. They're sponsoring the Rugby World Cup in France 2023. But this beer has been brewed in Italy by Beerfarm. 500ml bottle, 5% ABV. This is coming in at around £2 per bottle. So there's the bottle cap, dark brown bottle. It's been a really kind of interesting journey, this, because I've reviewed so many of these world lagers now, and there's very few. It was only the Polish beers that were actually brewed in Poland. Literally, the rest of the beer that I've been reviewing has either been brewed in the UK, Vietnam, Italy, everywhere else but its home country. I've got two tulip pint glasses to show you today. I think they will be well suited to these beers. So without further ado then, let's get myself a bottle opener and let's get the Asahi out into a glass and see what we get. Beer in the glass. Now, I remember when Asahi, or for me anyway, when Asahi first came about in the UK, I remember the Japanese World Cup, the Asian World Cup in 2002. Loved that. I remember South Korea doing really well. I think they got to the quarterfinals. They got knocked out by Germany. But South Korea back then were a fabulous football side. But I remember Asahi being available in UK supermarkets as an imported brewer. And that was the first time I ever come across it. Fast forward 21 years and Asahi own breweries all over the world. They're literally one of the biggest beer producers in the world now. So what a turnaround in 21 years. This has a 2-finger white head. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the middle of the glass. I did say it was 5% ABV, this one, didn't I? Yeah, 5% ABV. So exactly the same ABV as the Sapporo. Let's get the... finish pouring that in a moment. Let's get the Sapporo out then into a glass, see what we get. £2.95. Love the can on this one. I purchased this in Tesco. But again, brewed in Korea. So there we go then. There's a look at the Sapporo. It definitely looks a little darker. They've used a slightly different malt profile here to the Asahi. Have a look at these two different beers. It's definitely a darker beer, the Sapporo, with larger bubbles. But then again, there is a little widgy thing, a little kind of nucleated glass on the Asahi. Might be making a small difference. So, aroma then on the Asahi. Smells nice and hoppy actually. Stinging nettle kind of hop aroma to the beer. Stinging nettles are very closely related to the hops on the kind of Darwin tree of life. They're like cousins. So if I'm talking stinging nettle, it's a kind of like a traditional kind of earthy British European hop that I'm talking about here. A little bit of kind of light. Now, am I imagining things by saying rice? Would I be far-fetched to say rice here? It is a Japanese beer after all. Maybe some rice, maybe some maize mixed in with some malt. Smells okay. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, I'd say definitely along the lines of very easy drinking, very clean tasting. So maybe a little bit of rice there to produce this beer. I know when I went to Charles and Young's in 2012, they were talking about, they were contract brewing Kirin Ichiban, which is another Japanese lager, and they were using rice to brew that beer. You don't see Kirin Ichiban so much in this country anymore, but Kirin Ichiban back in 2012 was quite a big beer, Japanese beer in the UK. Very clean tasting, very refreshing, a little bit sweet, little bit of a hoppy, stinging nettle, slightly earthy, spicy taste coming through on the back end with a nice amount of bitterness. Yeah, it's not a bad beer. Not a bad beer. Right. Sapporo. Non-nucleated glass, which, bit of a shame, I suppose. I mean, I've only got these two tulip glasses to choose from, but yeah, a slightly darker looking lager. Oh, this is much more almost candied. A sweet kind of candied aroma to this one. A little bit earthy and spicy and peppery too with the hops. But I'm going to take a guess on this being an all malt lager. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that is different. That's a completely different beer. Much more, I'm picking up lemon hops. I've not had this beer in a number of years. I've had the black, Sapporo Black recently, which was terrific, a really good beer. But this is definitely coming along the lines of very hoppy, quite lemon-like. Very drinkable, very refreshing. A little bit more of a malty body coming through on the Sapporo. A little bit more beer as well, 650 millilitre, but it is £2.95 a can. I think this is a very interesting Japanese lager battle, to be honest with you, because I think if you're a fan of really clean tasting, super refreshing lager, then I would suggest you buy the Asahi. It's called dry for a reason. It is super dry. You know, it is super dry. It does say super there on the bottle. I thought it was. I thought I wasn't going mad with that clothing company. This is a much cleaner, crisper, drier lager. If I'm perfectly honest, if I think I wanted to be sat out in the sun, maybe some Japanese sunshine with some nice sushi. I don't like sushi, but with some nice chicken or something. You know, I think this would be the more sessionable beer. I think I could drink a little bit more of this in one sitting. It's very nice, very clean, very tasty. The Sapporo seems more of a slightly kind of specialist lager. When I mean specialist lager, one for more of maybe the connoisseur in us, maybe somebody who likes to taste a little bit more in their lager. It's not just about crisp and dry, it's about flavour. And I think this would be for you, the Sapporo. But I want to have a look at the ingredients, if they give it out. I don't think they do, unfortunately. Water, barley malt, cornstarch and hops. So it's cornstarch, it's not rice. And the Sapporo, I'm presuming it's 100% all malt. There's malt all over the front of the label here. So very quickly, water, malted barley and hops. Yeah, it's 100% malt barley beer, which is pretty cool actually. Rating. Asahi, I quite like that in its own way. Dry, crisp, refreshing, hits the spot. Not a bad beer, even if it's produced in Italy. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Sapporo, more of a specialist beer. I like it, I do. I can't call a tie because that wouldn't be fair. But I'm gonna give it to Sapporo. I'm gonna give it to Sapporo because it's got a slightly more, it's got more depth to it, more flavour profile. There's more layers of flavour coming through. 9 out of 10 for the Sapporo. I hope you liked the video. It's been quite interesting, this one. I've really enjoyed producing it. I've really enjoyed pressing record on my mobile phone. No production quality here. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.